Beinn Alligin was my first Munro and the first one that I went to go do a summit camp on 10 years ago, and it's also 10 years since I opened Applecross Gallery. I'm going to go back with a team that I've assembled over the years and important people who've been there along my journey in order to get a limited edition sunset and sunrise picture from the top of Beinn Alligin.
Well, we knew about Jack pretty quickly because one of the very first people he rocked up to talk to in Applecross was my wife. So everybody who's looking for work in Applecross first time out heads for the Applecross Inn. After 2 or 3 years he had this brilliant idea of starting the Applecross Photo Gallery. He took over a kind of old BT shed which nobody else wanted. I mean, it was a hut really, and didn't look very promising, but he's turned it into a great facility, and he's now providing employment not only for himself but for about 3 other people, which is fantastic really.
From a photography point of view, I'm not sure what photograph I'm going to be able to take, and there's uncertainty in that. What the weather will do, if it's going to hold, what the light will turn out like. How many times I tell you I've been up a mountain and not got the picture that I wanted.
The reason we've chosen this mountain is because it was the very first summit camp that Jack did back in 2015, and on that trip he actually managed to capture 2 panoramic photographs, one at sunrise and one at sunset on the same trip, and we're hoping to recreate that same image.
It's going well. It's always tough, and there's lots of mentions of the weight of the packs and everything, and it is heavy. It's heavy. That's what you've got to do when you're camping overnight on the top, so it'll be worth it when we get up to the top if the weather and everything holds out. It's obviously absolutely gorgeous right now. I've been so lucky, but it can change really quickly here.
It's probably been one of my toughest days on the hills just because of how hot it is and because of the camping equipment.
One thing we don't often encounter quite in the same way here in Scotland is this heat. So it is, while it's nice weather, the sun is really strong. So glad to be in the shade just here, and we'll collect some much needed water from the burn.
I'm going pretty tired in the back. I'm just counting my steps.
So it's definitely getting steeper now. I'm feeling it myself for sure. And you just notice it when you're doing an overnight camp like this with a big pack.
It's getting a bit steeper and the wind's picking up, so not so even on the footing.
You've got to keep putting one foot in front of the other. That's what we've done for 10 years.
To the left of that actually is a very nice
What I'm doing here is I'm using a modern digital camera. It's moved on a little bit over the last 10 years, and I have a more advanced camera body. But actually, interestingly enough, I've got the same lens that I used 10 years ago, and this lens is made to mimic the movements of a really old-fashioned camera. Essentially, the lens can move itself on the front of the camera and mimic the movements that bellows would be allowing for in one of these big old Victorian cameras with a hood to the photographer, and that gives me certain advantages in the picture. It means I can capture something that is with the panoramic format without any distortion, and it also means that I can capture a lot more in focus right through the scene, so it's not necessarily out of focus at any point. I can capture it in focus right from the foreground through to the background. So amazing piece of kit, and sort of meld of really old-fashioned and brand new technology, and it's wonderful to be here and to have caught it 10 years on. What an amazing evening. It's fallen dark now, and we had an incredible full moon rise that I wasn't expecting, and it came up red as it came up behind the mountains. It's just magical moments like these. Every time I go and camp on a mountain, something different happens, and you never know what exactly you're going to get. So that's the magic of it. This guy's fighting to get into his bed, and I'll be joining him pretty shortly, I think. So the alarm went off at 4:10 this morning, which is always a horrible time for an alarm. But at least we're greeted by an amazing, beautiful sunrise. And I knew that, immediately as soon as I opened the tent, unzipped it, and there was the moon still, full moon, and a cloudless sky. Everybody's loving the scene. It's absolutely gorgeous here, and we're very lucky to have a clear sunrise, because often it's not guaranteed here.
As soon as I got to the top and to the summit and saw over that ridge, it was just incredible and made me very emotional. The view just spread out in front of me. It was just the wildest thing, and it automatically just made me cry. It was just such an emotional thing. The Highlands as a landscape, it's a very dramatic, connective place. This has been such a big goal of mine since I moved to the Highlands, to be able to do something like this.
And what I really want to do is recreate what we can see with our eyes and just put you there in the scenes. As we're looking directly into the sun here, it's important to be able to capture all of that range where you've got the bright sun and the dark shadows below. So to achieve that, I'm bracketing my pictures so that some are too dark and too underexposed, and through to overexposed and far too bright. So now I've got the picture. I think everybody's tummies are rumbling most likely. Mine certainly is. Oh, it's not even 6 a.m. yet. We've been up for a couple of hours now.
It's kind of led me to appreciate the effort that Jack goes to a lot more. When you see Jack, how he stitches the images together, and then from that of having the team print them and hand stretch them in the gallery itself in Applecross, in the area where everything was created, is really special. And I don't think there's a lot of photography available like that.
Well, I think that was one hell of a walk that Jack got us all onto, actually. Really tough. I found it hard, and I was only carrying a tiny little pack. You guys were carrying huge weights, so I think getting up here for all of you was a massive achievement.
This is a Munro that's been on my to-do list for a while. It's one that I kind of keep coming back to, that I'd like to do. I've always felt more at home in Scotland than I have in England. Be able to just really get out into nature, and mountains and sea together are a pretty special combination.
What an amazing group. We look out for bad weather thinking that's rain and sleet and snow and anything that Scotland can throw at you, the cloud and the visibility, but we didn't really have much of that. We had the wind, but the intense heat, it was a massive factor that I probably underestimated, how it would affect everybody so much, and I think everybody just pulled through. I hope that goes some way into showing what goes into getting a picture. If you're lucky, 2 pictures from a mountaintop, and what better way to celebrate the business turning 10 years old than doing it with all these people and sharing that. So thank you so much for watching, thanks for being part of it yourselves, and yeah, I hope you enjoy the pictures. So as the dust has settled on what was an incredible trip to mark 10 years in business, it's been an absolute pleasure to bring the picture back, painstakingly edit it, print it and produce it, and sign it, of course, as a limited edition of just one of only 50 made. So thanks for watching, and I really hope you enjoy the photograph.